video, I talked about tips to implement for children who are having behavioral issues. So this video I am going to talk about how to create a behavior chart. Because I mentioned making a behavior chart is helpful, but it has to be implemented in the right way, which is why I suggest you see a clinician. But if you just want to try it yourself first to see if it works, you can. And I have a sample chart here that I just put together, just like a simple one. Now this is not tied to any child that I work with or have ever worked with. This is just an example, okay? So let's say Jimmy is having issues with hitting at home. He hits his little brother and he gets really angry. He starts, writing on the walls and punching the wall, whatever. So the two behavioral changes we want to see in Jimmy are don't hit, tell an adult instead, and count to 10 and take a walk when angry. Notice that the two behavioral changes relate to each other. Usually when a child is hitting another child, the child is angry. So this is an opportunity for the child to work on two skills at once, telling an adult and taking a walk when angry. And thus getting them more of a chance to get rewards and build up their self-esteem and things like that. So I've broken it down to, usually when I do this in the office, it's much better and wonderful. It's, construction paper, the kid gets to decorate it and all that stuff, and they have a real fun, participating and creating the chart, and it being explained to them. However, this is just for this video, so I just put it on this thing. Okay, so I just put every day of the week. I put park here because that's the big, exciting reward at the end. And the consequences I did not list, but I will explain as I go. So, okay, this doesn't go like that. Okay, so let's say Monday, he has a really hard day because it's the first day back at school. He didn't get very good sleep last night, so he's more irritable than usual. So he did hit his brother that day. So I'm going to put an X here. But once he was reminded to count to 10 when his mom said, hey, don't hit, what do we do instead? Go take a walk and count to 10. He went and counted to 10. So mom said, good job, great job listening. Here's a star on number 2. Okay, keep this hung up somewhere so the child can see it and say, okay, I did good on this one today. And then you can explain tomorrow you have a chance to do good on both. So tomorrow he remembers what he did yesterday and he's like, I really want both stars, so I'm gonna go ahead and obey. I'm gonna not hit my brother. I told my mom, blah, blah, blah. Okay, he gets 2 stars. Wednesday, he has a hard time at school. He hits a kid at school, and since you weren't there, he didn't tell an adult because you weren't there to remind him. Which is why I also like to incorporate teachers. And I say, hey teacher, fill out this behavioral report card every day. And if they do either of these things, write it down. And then also just helps the teacher to remember to prime the child, I guess, to, count to 10 and take a walk, or don't hit, tell an adult. But anyways, let's say that this mom didn't do that. And so he has a bad day, 2 X's, okay? Now you may be thinking, what are the consequences? Okay, so the consequence is the X's. And it's fine. You explain to the child, hey, you did bad this day. You can do better tomorrow. And they're like, okay, I'll try again. So they have another good day. Okay? And let's say Friday they have another good day. Saturday they do so great because they know tomorrow is the day they go to the park. So they have another good day. So the kid actually did not so bad. That's why these behavior charts are so helpful, because you can actually see as a parent what days they did well and what days they didn't. Also, you get to see which skills they're working on and which skills which skills they need to work on and which skills they're doing swell on. So you get to the park day. They had a good day up until, you know, it's time to go to the park. You point out, okay, on Wednesday you had a hard time. On Monday you had a hard time for one of these things. So instead of going everywhere in the park, we're gonna go to this area of the park. We're gonna go to the swings and the slide on this side. If you wanna go to the jungle gym over there, then we're gonna have to try and do better next week. And by better, I mean you need to have, what is it? You need to have 6 instead of 5, because you had 5 this week. You need to have 6 great days where you do both skills, okay? Now, I'm very aware that a day is 24 hours. So just because a child does these things one time, or doesn't do these things one time, doesn't mean that it's all over, right? Like, that's why this is a good incentive. So if a child, like, for example, they do start out the day really well, let's say on Tuesday, or no, Monday, let's use Monday. Let's say on Monday they started out the day really well, and this used to be a star. Well, when they hit their brother, you had to erase the star, or, you know, whatever it is you're doing, and put an X. So throughout the entire day, they can earn stars or X's or whatever. And that can be, you know, you just erasing it if you're using something that is erasable, and putting an X or a star. It's good for the child to know that they can redeem themselves if they start out poorly, and for them to know that they can't rest on their laurels either. They have to continuously, consistently work on these skills throughout the day in order to keep their stars. So yeah. So that is a behavior chart for a child. Probably like elementary age, I would say. For a little 4-year-old, you probably want to do something a little bit more simple than this, especially not going to wait until the end of the week to give them that reward. You're going to want to do it a midweek reward. But if it's like a 10-year-old or an 8-year-old, this would be a pretty good chart, I would say. All right. Thanks for watching. If you like this video and you want more content like this, like and subscribe. Bye.